actions of Zamasu towards Gowasu and everyone else, and finally we have an understanding as to what happened in this particular episode, with new reveals of Dragon Ball Super's latest episodes featuring Trunks and Vegeta. So it seems as if Trunks and Vegeta are going to have more to this arc than we actually presumed, and indeed our boy Vegeta is finally going to have one more shot at Black and Zamasu in the future as they plan to go back to further stop them from destroying the entire future. But nevertheless, we resume the episode right where we left off, with Goku, Whis, and Beerus having to leave, with the observation of Zamasu having to take place because Zamasu's demeanor has definitely changed. But with that, we start the episode off with Zamasu thinking to himself and wondering why is everyone here, and he greets everyone and recognizes Universe 7's Kaioshin right off the bat. So he recognizes the Supreme Kai alongside Goku, Whis, and Beerus, and obviously his demeanor's changed. He knows what's up, and he's playing it very foolishly as he's talking to Beerus, and Zamasu asks if they have learned anything about the time rings without even, asking about the last time. So Beerus claims that Goku wants to fight Zamasu again, and Goku denies that, in which case we see Beerus thump him on the head, and we see Beerus is just using that as a pretext to see what Zamasu's demeanor is going to look like, or essentially change. And we see Zamasu walk away, and he doesn't seem bothered by the idea, but he's okay with the rematch. But Zamasu actually is looking at Goku, and Beerus insists that they have some tea first, which again, you have to understand that they don't want to get into the point right away. They want to see how Zamasu plays things off. And we see right off the bat how Zamasu is just okay with everything, and then we see Whis speaking to Gowasu, and we see how Gowasu is very surprised and baffled that they're all there. But just as they came, they quickly left with Beerus dragging Goku out, and you guys can't deny the relationship these two have, because it's really wacky to see Beerus pretty much dump Goku around. But we see how they're about to leave, and then all of a sudden they stop, and Goku's left flying throughout space, but they catch him right in time, and Whis introduces Gowasu to some sort of a rice cake just substance, in which case he eats. But we see how Whis pretty much is about to quote-unquote leave with everybody, but they are stopped abruptly just to check up as to what's going on. Obviously enough, they want to gather more evidence to see what the heck Zamasu is doing here, and certainly they should have went with Beerus' idea from the very get-go on destroying Zamasu, because Beerus is certain that Zamasu wants to kill Gowasu based on his demeanor, because Beerus recognizes something right off the bat, and he's giving off urge that, we have to wait and see what happens. And Goku couldn't really sense what was going on with Zamasu, but Beerus is very sensitive to that. So again, Beerus knows something. Beerus has known something this entire time, and we see how they're all standing there right in the middle of nowhere in space, and we see how Beerus is observing Zamasu. Everyone's observing Zamasu except for Goku. Goku can't really tell as to what's going on. He's not sensitive to that kind of stuff, and we see that Beerus knows. And then right off the bat, we see how Gowasu begins to drink the tea, and everyone is there in patience. Everyone's there anticipating something to happen, and Goku seems relieved after Gowasu has taken the first sip of tea, and everyone is just there. Everyone's wondering to themselves, like, alright, well, what's he gonna do next? And obviously right off the bat, they should have listened to Beerus from the get-go. But then we pan over to the future, and we see how Black Goku has pretty much downpowered his level, and he's back to his base form, and in which case we see him and Zamasu having tea, which is very, very odd if you ask me, because once again, what's happening in the present is happening in the future, except it's the polar opposite. We see Gowasu having tea with Zamasu in the present, and we see Zamasu having tea with Black in the future. So really awesome stuff if you ask me. Again, I will talk more of this in my breakdown review, but in any case, we get to see how things are most certainly different, but they're also in a way connected, and they need proof to see if Zamasu is in fact doing this. But we also get to see how Black is pretty much relaxing in the future, and then he powers up to a Super Saiyan Rose, and Black says that he'll finish Goku off for sure next time, and Zamasu says that even if he does, he'll have nothing left to do with his battle power. So they pretty much want to keep Goku around in essence, but Black wants to destroy him. Black does not want Goku around, and Zamasu keeps telling him, well, if you destroy him, you're really going to be left off with nobody left to fight and whatnot. Obviously enough, they want to destroy Goku, but they also want to have some fun in between that. So again, I find it very odd that they're in the middle of like this shacked house, just enjoying tea and conversating. I mean, one would only assume that they would destroy the entire planet, but they did not. So Zamasu says that maybe Black Black should get immortality by wishing upon the Super Dragon Dragon Balls as well, but if he did, his fighting skills might be rusty because he can't improve. So that right there strikes me as a little odd, because Zamasu recommends for Black to use the Super Dragon Balls to become immortal, but at the same time, he says that if he were to do that, his skills would be very, very rusty. So that just tells us right there that Black is not immortal. Black is not immortal, but Zamasu is. So that's very intriguing how Zamasu kept telling Black, you know, you might as well use the Dragon Balls to become immortal, but he did not, because obviously enough, there's only one immortal between these two. We can all agree that Black is stronger than Zamasu, but Zamasu can't die. So we see Mai, she's still alive, she's feeding the kids underground, they're taking refuge, and it seems as if Zamasu and Black are patiently waiting for them to return into the future, for them to have a all-out war. But then we see Vegeta training, and that shouldn't come as a surprise because we do know that Vegeta's going to be involved in a huge-ass role, but Bulma thinks that maybe they should take the time machine out of a stronger metal next time, that way it doesn't get damaged. So we can only make the assumption here, and Zamasu finds it ironic that they need a mortal's help to carry out the Zero Mortal plan. So that strikes me as a little odd, but Zamasu's plan is to wipe out all mortals. That includes gods, because in the manga chapter we know that all the gods are dead within that timeline. So they haven't really touched up on that right now, but Zamasu and Black are really patiently waiting for everyone to return. And then we get to see Pilaf and the gang. They're all talking amongst each other, and Trunks has been mopping around ever since he got back, so he's really not been training. You guys can't really say that he's going to become the Gohan right now, because all he's doing right now is mopping while everyone else is like taking care of business. So again, we're slowly building up to this massive battle, and it will be a massive ass battle. But nevertheless, we get to see little Trunks talking to future Trunks, which again, I think it's only me here, but I would love to see these two train, because obviously enough, we see how little Trunks began to power up, and we see how little Trunks is getting angry that the mopey future Trunks is just reminiscing on what's going on in the future. And what's awesome is we see little Trunks, he rushes future Trunks and he punches him right in the face, which again gave me goosebumps, because to see little Trunks put in work and smack his older self was really awesome to see. And of course with that, we can only make the assumption that they will train hopefully in the future, but I think little Trunks here grew balls as he punched his older self, which was pretty cool if you ask me. So we go back to Universe 10 as Gowasu and Zamasu are drinking and eating tea, and Zamasu is observing him, and he eats the rice cake that Whis gave to him, and he tells him that he has a little bit on his mouth. And we see how everything's all casual, but Beerus and Whis seem to pick something up. Again, we should have went with Beerus's decision to wipe Zamasu out from the get-go, but Goku is very naive, and some can even blame Goku for causing all of this to happen ever since he showed up and decided to fight Zamasu. But nevertheless, we see Zamasu talking to Gowasu, and that's when it happens, guys. They witness Zamasu kill Zamasu, but then right then and there, Whis turns back time, and we have all the proof we need now, and now it is time for the God of Destruction to get in the way. And this is what hyped me up the most, because right when Zamasu was going to kill Gowasu off, we see them right off the bat, they appear, and we see how Whis puts like a mitten on Zamasu's hand, and they notice right then and there Zamasu is stunned. Zamasu is stunned as to what happened, and everyone knows, and Zamasu bumps right into the God of Destruction, and Beerus right there, he plays along with Zamasu because he realizes that Zamasu had done messed up. They all confront him right then and there, with Beerus being the first one, with Beerus pretty much asking Zamasu like, hey, so what were you about to just do here? And Gowasu just is more glad that Zamasu is totally right back on track and not evil, but we also get to see Whis unveil that Zamasu was gonna stab and kill Gowasu, and in which case Zamasu tries to hide the fact that he wasn't able to do so, in which case, again, I'll talk more of that in my breakdown review, guys, but this was setting up for Beerus to destroy Zamasu, in which case it's going to happen, everybody. This was a freaking amazing episode. For what it was worth, you don't have to have all the action and intense combat to realize it was a great episode, but we also get to see how Zamasu is very satisfied by the fact that he got caught, and he does not care at all. But nevertheless, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about this episode. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe for more daily content as well, everybody. And Beerus and Whis tell Gowasu how Beerus tried you know, to see right off the bat from like when they first got there that something was up with Zamasu. and they needed proof, and this was all the proof in the world, and this is going to lead to something very big, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching once again. Tune in for the breakdown, and I'll be seeing you all later. Take it easy, guys. Peace!